Good morning, everybody. We're going to try a live stream here. Good morning. It's Sunday. What is today's date? February 23rd. It's cold, it's icy, it's snowy, and I am ready to fish. Let me see if we can get this chat going. See how many people sign up here today. Got some really cool news. I don't usually do a lot of collaborating uh, with companies. We get a lot of emails and offers for that type of stuff. 3D printers, um, some weird stuff. But a company had reached out to me, and they are lithium battery. It's a lithium battery manufacturer. So I decided that we would pair up and collaborate a little bit, and they sent me a couple lithium batteries and a lithium battery charger, and I'm going to be putting that in the Sea Fever this year to run all of the electronics. So that'll be really good. So I'll do an unboxing video for that coming up here shortly, and an installation video. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of new things that are going to be. We're going to upgrade the Sea Fever this year. New electronics, a whole bunch of things. We've got a new life raft that I'm going to be putting on there. So I figured this morning I would try a live stream and just kind of get an idea of what the feedback is on it. Good morning, Vic. How are you? Thanks for joining in. So we'll see where this takes us. If it people are interested in a live stream Q&A sort of thing, maybe we'll keep it going. But it's about 22 degrees here this morning. I guess this week is going to be thawing out, which would be really nice. I'm going to do a quick mic check here and see if this is working well. But yeah, we've got a lot of cool things going on, and I'm excited to start working on the boat. We're also going to be, if you saw the last video I did, the unboxing video of the Charles Nappy Fluke rig. That was pretty exciting. This camera seems wicked close. I don't know. I mean, the live stream thing is fun, I guess, if you get people involved and stuff, but there we go. The Charles Nappy Fluke rig that I found on eBay was really exciting. I was happy to find that. But we're going to be doing a whole bunch of Fluke rig building videos coming up. And we got some different variations of Fluke rigs, which will be pretty cool, that we're going to come up with. I'm even going to show you the design I have for a weight, a sinker, and kind of a variation of a Lindy rig. I just think something, a Fluke rig like this needs to have a special weight to present it well. So I started a prototype. I'm going to build a mold for it, and we'll pour some. So, good morning, JT. What do you think about the squid tricks by Nomad? You know, a couple of my buddies have those. I don't think they've caught anything on them. I mean, they look really cool. But I know JP. He's got like 5 or 6 of them. He throws that thing out every trip at least once. But I don't think he's caught anything on it. He also probably hasn't spent enough time with it. But Nomad makes a lot of really nice stuff. I think they've got I forgot the name of it, but there's a top water that they make. It's called it's a mantis or manta. It's pretty good. So And that's for tuna, if anybody's wondering. Um, the big one. But I know they make some smaller size, but I haven't used them for like Fluke or anything. When you run your first Fluke trip, what are you basing on? Water temp? Yeah. Water temp, and then the amount of squid that are in. Um, historically, we really start usually once the squid show up at like Millstone Power Plant, then we can follow the Fluke is where they go from there. So once the squid start showing up at Millstone, we'll start fluke fishing, and then once we start catching a few keepers, then we'll stay with them, and then that's how we end up figuring out what their movements are. So water temp definitely plays a big role in it, but we have had times where the water temperatures from one season to the next, the fluke showed up and it was 10-degree difference. So it really depends on the squid. I've been hearing lots of good stuff from all the New England species, but I guess we will see this season. Yes, I have too. I know the striper thing has been on a lot of people's minds, and all these new regulations and everything else. But I'll tell you, I mean, phew, the striper fishing last year was phenomenal in Long Island Sound. If you knew where to go and you knew where to find them, there were some spots where they stuck around all year long. It was pretty amazing. We had a video. If you go back into last year's Next Drift episodes, we had a day when I was out with my buddy Joe, and it was bluebird sky. Sun was at like right at 12 o'clock. The water was glass. There was nobody around, and there were 40 and 50-pound stripers everywhere feeding on the surface on bunker. It was amazing. Is that mid-May? Yeah, yeah. Usually around like mid-May, end of May is where we really start seeing them. But it all depends also too. I hopefully this year we'll get the boat in the water earlier, and then we can maybe try for them a little sooner than we usually do. The last couple of seasons, like last year, I had to wait till the new parts came in for the motor. We had to have the motor pulled, and so I didn't get in till I want to say it was like mid-June. It was late, but hopefully this year I'll be in the water mid-April because I think we're going to do a bunch of cod trips early on this year, which will be fun too because we've never done cod trips on Next Drift. But yeah, so coming up here, we're going to do a bunch of videos building some new fluke rigs. As I had mentioned, there's going to be a really good opportunity for us to do some bait fishing this year. And we're going to do it in some locations where I know there's giant fluke where other people don't fish. So we're going to be out in the open ocean, much deeper water than people are accustomed to fishing. And we're going to be using big baits. We're not just going to be going for keepers. It's kind of maybe a little bit of a pipe dream, but what I'm hoping is that we can be around some world-class fish and have a chance at a 20-pound fluke because they are out there. Just got to go out and hunt them. Good morning, Brian. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. I'm trying to so I have a huge screen. I had when Halkias and I had our live stream a couple weeks ago, people were asking me what I was looking at. So I have an enormous 55-inch screen. It's where I do all the editing on. And so the way it's kind of laid out, I have to look over here for the chat. I have to look over here for what the numbers are. So it looks like I'm looking at 4 or 5 different screens, but it's just because the screen's enormous. But like I was saying, so we're gonna hopefully do some fluke fishing out in 150, 200, 225 feet of water where tuna live. And I think that's going to end up working out for us. I'm excited to do it. Big baits, live bait. We're we're actually going to go out and try to get some snapper blues when that time of the year comes around. We're only allowed 3 apiece, but um, hey, we're going to use live snapper blues. We'll use some live mackerel. I'd love to be able to get some squid, some really big squid, not live squid, but some actual fresh squid. And I think that makes a big difference too. Local squid. A lot of that frozen stuff that you get, it comes from other places. You get it comes from Maine, New Hampshire, Cape Cod, Long Island, and um, I think it makes a big difference finding local squid. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. What type of maintenance do you have to do on the boat yearly? Well, it really depends. So, um, usually winterizing it, making sure all the water's out of the motors. Um, I end up putting this antifreeze solution in the hull just to keep anything from freezing. And we'll do bottom paint this year. I don't usually do bottom paint every year, but this year we're going to be doing bottom paint. And just tidying up some stuff. Every year I find something new that I want to add. So this year I'm going to be adding some more electronics. I want to be able to. I might even be adding forward-facing sonar for different purposes, as far as like tuna fishing goes. When we go out troll for tuna, to be able to see what's ahead of the boat. Um, Dolphins, whales, tuna themselves. So just that kind of stuff. Washing the boat down, making sure I have redundant everything, extra belts, extra spark plugs, extra bilge pumps, making sure all the fire extinguishers are working well. So yeah, that kind of stuff. That's a good question. Um, as far as the Fluke goes offshore, I am super super stoked to get out there and do that. I think we're going to spend a bunch of our time out there this year. Uh, One of the things, I kind of made mention to it, we're going to be at a different marina this year, which I'm really excited about. It's only about 15 or 20 minutes away from my house, which is really good. We're going to be going out of Old Saybrook, just inside the mouth of the Connecticut River. So while it's a little bit further away from the areas in the east that I like to fish, it's opened us up to be able to fish some of the spots in the central Long Island Sound that are going to be good that we haven't been able to really fish just because we don't spend the time heading that direction when we were in Niantic. So we're going to be in Old Saybrook this year, and we'll have access to 6 Mile Reef, 28-foot shoal. There's some other spots um, further west that I was really looking forward to trying, especially for Fluke, I think, that are untouched. So that'll really appeal to the Long Island guys. And then also at the same time, we'll have access to be able to get out past Montauk and still go out towards Block. But we'll just be going through Plum Gut instead of across the race. It was really disappointing this year. A big part of the reason why I had been in Niantic when we were running Sea Fever charters was because I could take people out to the race and we could diamond jig for bluefish and stripers and whatnot, and also still have access to Fluke water when we had the Fluke trips. But the race was just bad this year. There's nothing going on. It was like a dead zone. There were more bluefish in central Long Island Sound than there was at the race. Even Plum Gut. Plum Gut had bluefish. But I don't know what was going on this year. But I don't have as much time anymore. Started a new line of work. Took a new position at Nicolock Paving Stones. So now my fishing time is not as prevalent. So the time that I do have, which is usually going to be on the weekends, is going to be spent, in areas that are going to give us good content and also have a good time. So let's see here. We get some other questions. Hey, Todd. Todd's here. Long Island Lethals. Definitely want to check out his channel. Yeah, it's a good spot. I think it's going to be good. It'll be nice. Good striper area too. There's a lot of good stripers that have been around just outside of the mouth of the river, and we'll share some of that with you guys this year. But generally that's where, if you go back and look at that video of all those big stripers we were catching on surface plugs, that's where we were. Yeah, Vic. Good. Let's see. Good to hear. A lot of good spots west. There are a lot of good spots west. You ever sing to your chickens? Nope, can't say I do that. So, um, yeah. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We'll be making some cool rigs. Just to be honest, I'm really tired of making fluke gulp videos and talking about the same thing over and over again. I want to have some new content and keep next drift fresh. I'm even thinking about, and I know some people aren't probably going to like this, but in order for the channel to grow, we've got to have a wider audience. And um, as much as we all love fluke fishing and all that stuff, the pool of people that are out there looking for fluke videos is very small compared to a lot of other things. So we're going to be doing some freshwater videos too. We're going to be doing some stream trout fishing, which is something I love to do, walking the banks and using spinners and that sort of thing. And I've got some amazing spots. I used to do that as a little side hobby back in the day with my buddy Chris. We used to go up to the Farmington River, the Still River, the Battenkill River, and just catch monster trout. So we're going to be doing some of those videos too, because it's kind of ties into the whole saltwater thing as well, from the aspect of current and structure and cover and all that. So it just gives us an opportunity to talk about something else and have some new content. It is always good to find new spots to fish. To be brutally honest with you, um, I that's the part of fishing that I like. I'm not big into to fishing much anymore, to be honest. I love the feel of a fluke and setting the hook and fighting one. But aside from that, I'm not really big into the fishing part anymore. I like finding fish and taking other people out to them and watching them catch them. That was a big reason I started the charter business. I've just I like fishing every now and then, but to me it's about finding them and watching other people fish. I get more enjoyment out of watching somebody else catch a fish than I do catching one myself. I honestly I get bored sometimes of it, so I'm not a big fan of like tog fishing too much. Do I have an apex on my boat? Not sure what an apex is. Throw it in there, Todd. Wish someone would run a local fluke tournament. Yeah, me too, brother. We got Billy's by the Bay, which is a really nice event. I highly recommend that you go, but it is across the sound. And I've wanted to start a fluke tournament. I thought about it. Maybe next year I'll put something together. I just need some help because it's really tough doing it by yourself, and you also have to make sure you're insured. Oh, a hummingbird? No, unfortunately, I am not a hummingbird fan. I had hummingbirds, lots of hummingbirds over the years on a lot of different boats, and the I had a Solix, two Solix 15s, three Solix 12s on one boat, and I ended up almost uh, dying on Lake Champlain in the middle of a storm, trying to find my way back to the boat ramp because my Solix 15 that was on the dash froze. So I am not a hummingbird fan at all. I'm a Lowrance guy, a Garmin guy, a Raytheon guy. I am not a hummingbird guy. UHD imaging over the Solix. Yeah, I'm sure they're always coming out with new stuff. Yes, very well, very familiar up until about 2019. But I've had lots of hummingbirds all the way back from the old SX days and the Humminbird Super 60 flasher units. Anyway, so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll do some striper videos this year. Like I mentioned, we're going to do some cod videos, and that's why I'm really trying to. Hopefully, this weather passes. This week's supposed to get into the 50s, and I want to get the boat in the water, get it all set and ready to go, and then our plan is to go out and do some cod trips. And I think it would be pretty cool if we could have some cod videos. I love eating cod. I love smoking cod, and it'll be fun to have some cod trip videos. Change it up a little bit. As I said, you can only, sometimes even the editing piece, when you get and do some videos, keep doing the same video over and over and over again, it gets a little dull. So we want to keep it fresh. The other thing I was going to ask everybody, um, make sure you like the video and share the video. That helps us build up our subscriber base and view counts and all that good stuff. And that's what keeps our channel going. And obviously, it keeps me motivated to keep making videos, because there's nothing worse than sitting down and working on a video for 4 or 5 hours and you get 1,000 views. Looking forward to the new Fluke rig videos. Give us an idea of what type of rigs. So that's a great question. I'm looking forward to make them. We're gonna have some different stuff. I want to make a bunch of different kinds of rigs. We'll have some with bucktail, some with for strip bait. For just kind of shallow water local fluke. Catching keepers. And then we're going to have some other rigs that are designed for live bait, for big baits, big cut baits, and for bigger fluke. So when we go out to some of these offshore spots to go fluke fishing, we're going to be using big baits. We're going to be targeting giant fluke. I'm not interested in catching even a 10 pounder. We're going to be searching for 13, 14, 15, 16 pound fluke, big ones. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish this year, is to have a bunch of really, really giant big teen fish. I'd love to get a 20 pounder. They're out there. I know they are. So those are the types of rigs we're going to be building. We'll make some with spinners. I'm going to model some rigs after Charles Nappy's old style rigs with some modern components. And that'll be fun. So, and then we'll go out, and what I'll do is I'll make a bunch of different rigs. I was thinking about this. I'm not planning on selling these things or anything like that, but we'll make some rigs. We'll show you how to tie them, and I'll have some different models, or we'll designate certain numbers or letters or whatever, and then we'll go out and fish them. So it'll be, if we're going to stay local, say it like a Millstone or something like that, and we're going to be using the live bait rigs or cut bait rigs, we'll be fishing shallower water, generally for smaller flukes. So we'll be using that style of rig, and then progressively, when we're fishing the offshore ocean spots, we'll use the big live bait and big bait rigs. So that'll be a lot of fun. Actually, today, as a matter of fact, we're gonna. My family and I were going to go out to breakfast here in a little while. My wife just got back from her walk, and we're going to go get breakfast and then head over to Michael's craft store, because there's some specific beads that I'm looking for that I want to use on our fluke rigs. So that'll be good. And always feel free to send me an email, nextrafishing@gmail.com. Always love getting emails from everybody. Hopefully I can answer them all. Once in a while they go into the spam folder. I don't see them, and then I feel bad because I haven't reconnected with the person. So, also too, we love suggestions on what you'd like to see. That's always a big deal. I love that stuff. We'll do a bunch of map reading videos this year again, and I've got some knot videos I want to do, gear maintenance videos I want to do, and then also too, we're going to be doing a bunch of tuna trips, which I'm excited about. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the tuna fishing. I like trolling, and that's the way the boat's designed. I think we're even going to do some harpoon trips. My buddy Joe Mancini, he's got a bunch of different harpoons, flying gaffs, all those types of things, a harpoon gun. So we're going to get the permit and be able to take the sea fever out and harpoon tuna. So, the other thing too, and that's the exciting part about getting these lithium batteries and partnering up with this company is now I'll have a battery system that will have continuous power for 3 days. And so now we can go out in the tuna grounds. I can leave everything running, my GPS, the lights, everything. And we can go out there and spend overnight trips. And I don't have to worry about keeping the engine running and burning excess amounts of fuel and all that just to keep the battery power up in the boat. So having these lithium batteries is going to be a really, really big deal for us. Game changer, completely separate. The engine will be on its own battery system. And then all the electronics will be on another battery system, and we'll never have to worry about running out of juice or keeping the engines going. So that'll be really nice. But yeah, so anyway, make sure when the video pops up this year that you click the like button, share it with your friends, invite some other people to subscribe to Next Drift. Every little bit helps. So anyway, this was my first attempt at doing a live stream Q&A. Actually, it worked out pretty well. I think we'll do some more of these. Get on a set schedule. We'll keep trying them out, and it's a good way to kind of connect with everybody. So hopefully this week we'll have some good melt. We need to get rid of all this ice and snow. It's bad. It's depressing now. I've got cabin fever, and there's only so much time I can sit in the basement and organize tackle. Anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning, and maybe we'll make this a common live stream each week. All right. So I'm going to sign off here. Everybody have a great day. Happy Sunday. Spend some time with your family. Talk to you real soon.